financing is still a problem. Financing in the right areas.
See, for any startup in India, financing or globally, financing is a big issue because they don't have number to support.
Okay.
On the basis of what?
You're talking about green energy startups.
Green energy startups. On the basis of what? Right? No, in all the startups, because you don't have numbers in the beginning, right?
Isn't that the case with startups in every sector?
Yes, it is. But in the green thing is that it is not evolved yet. So, for example, I met my friend today itself. He came and said, we are unable to get the financing for EV trucks. Why? Because there is no secondary market for the EV trucks. What will happen if you do the NPA? And now they are getting the money at the rate of 17 to 18% versus 8 to 9%, right? So one of the major hurdle is that, since the entire sector is evolving, banks, especially in India, are not recognizing it. But in the new policy, Honorable Prime Minister Sahab has allocated around 550 crores to that particular segment. But somehow, if we talk about the green ventures, because of the scalability issues. So when we talk about startup, they are not EV startup only. There are so many other startups, right? Those who are into sustainable clothing. I talk about the vegan food, right? Then there are recycling, waste management. But to start with, there are funds, but they will not support you at an initial stage, which is required. And that's where the credit guarantee should come. The institutes like SIDBI, RBI should have some kind of policy framework wherein they will give you the initial amount of money. But in this domain, the starting, the runway is very long. You don't get benefited in say 2 to 3 years to 5 years.
It's a long journey.
It's long journey. So financing at the moment in this domain for the startup is a big concern.
Bhuvnesh, what do you think? Educate the masses.
So कुछ दिनों पहले प्रोफेसर अनिल सर हैं, अनिल गुप्ता फ्रॉम IIM अहमदाबाद, तो उनसे बात हो रही थी. तो आई वाज टॉकिंग अबाउट दिस समिट. तो उन्होंने बोला कौन सा फ्यूचर. राइट नाउ वी आर इन 2024 and we are talking about net zero by 2070. Can you guarantee कि 2070 तक मुंबई की कोस्ट लाइन्स रहेंगी? Right? Can you guarantee जो बाकी के द्वीप हैं, जो आइलैंड्स हैं, वो रहेंगे? Right? Because जो डैमेज हम कर चुके हैं, right? Sustainable Development Goals 2030. I heard this word in each of the panels. Everybody talked about it, but everybody was saying they are not successful. Why they are not successful? Because हम लोगों तक अपनी बात पहुंचा ही नहीं पाए. पहुंचाएंगे कैसे? थोड़ा सा डरा के. डर क्या हो सकता है? आपको पता है कि एक वेट बल्ब टेम्परेचर होता है, तो अगर वो इंक्रीज करेगा एट अ सर्टेन लेवल, से 35, we will go crazy, right? There will be a catastrophe. Millions of people are going to die because of the climate change. Now this is going to happen and this is happening. For example, लास्ट 365 दिनों में 310 कैटास्ट्रोफी हुई है. आज जब हम बात कर रहे हैं फ्लड्स इन नेपाल, नॉर्थ कैरोलिना, फ्लोरिडा, इंडिया में हर जगह आप देखेंगे त्रासदी हो रही है. और इसका बहुत बड़ा कारण है क्लाइमेट चेंज. तो अगर अपन को बहुत भारी लैंग्वेज में समझ में ना भी आए तो सिंपल लैंग्वेज में अगर जान है तो जहान है. और एक एग्जांपल और है, जो लास्ट 50 सालों में 60 सालों में जो इनोवेशंस हुए, इट इज फॉर कन्वीनियंस. एयर कंडीशनर चाहिए, एरोप्लेन्स चाहिए, लाइट्स चाहिए. नेक्स्ट 50 सालों में जो इनोवेशंस होने वाले हैं वो होने वाले फॉर सर्वाइवल. एंड फोरम्स लाइक दिस आर द राइट प्लेटफॉर्म जहां पे हम अपनी बातों को समझा सकते हैं. ऑब्वियसली फिजिकली जो आप लोग हैं और जो डिजिटली भी हमें देखेंगे, ये जानना बहुत जरूरी है कि 2070 इज नॉट वेरी फार, बट वी हैव टू एक्ट नाउ.
Till yet.
So, I'm a vegan, okay, and when we talk about sustainability, we talk about e-mobility, we talk about solar panels, hydrogen, right? But a lot of emission happens in our consumption. So I'll just take an example wherein, there are startups who are working with the vegan food.
Okay.
So for example, there are tikkas which are being sold, right? There are tempas of the world, right? But those are high in cost. The number one reason is that there is not much awareness that what is this actually and how does it going to benefit me, how is it different from the meat, how it is more cost effective, right? So the investment which comes in is very less. So startups who comes to me, they talk about, we don't have much investment, number one. Then there is no awareness, there is no acceptability, right? Number three, there are no policies, so to say, wherein they can safeguard the finance of those startups. So to summarize, the awareness is one of the major concerns. The reach to the finance is the second most important thing. And thirdly, the acceptability. So that increases the cost, and those entrepreneurs and the startups who are working in this domain are unable to reach to the masses.
So policy, awareness and finance, these three primarily. Professor Bhunesh?
Survival for making the world a better place. अब की जो इनोवेशंस हो रहे हैं, हमेशा मैं बोलता हूँ कि आज के 30 साल 40 साल 50 साल वाले जो इनोवेशंस थे वो थे बिकॉज ऑफ कन्वीनियंस. एयर कंडीशन चाहिए, गाड़ियाँ चाहिए, एरोप्लेन चाहिए, स्विगी चाहिए, जोमेटो चाहिए. लेकिन आज ये बात जो इनोवेशंस होंगे अगले 10 साल 20 साल 30 साल में it will be about survival. तो हमें इस तरफ काम करना चाहिए और जितने भी लोग इसमें जुड़ सकें हमें अपनी बात पहुँचानी चाहिए और उस दिशा में काम करना चाहिए. I think वैक्सीन एक बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है और जो भी सब कुछ डिजिटाइज हो चुका है और I'm looking forward to have the digital market because बहुत कुछ होगा उसके मैं चाहता हूँ कि वैक्सीन should also have a YouTube channel so that it can reach the masses. So when you are physical to reach to 10, 20, 50 states, but when you are digital to reach 2 million of परेशानियाँ तो हमेशा नहीं, समस्या परेशानियों से नहीं, समस्या है कि किस तरीके से अवेयर करवा सकते हो. तो सबसे पहले काम होता है हमारा अवेयरनेस, उसके बाद होता है कि हम उस पर कैसे एक्ट करें और क्या हम उसे अवॉइड कर सकते हैं. तो जब भी हम काम करते हैं एसडीजीज के साथ, कॉर्पोरेट्स के साथ, एनजीओज के साथ या स्टेक होल्डर्स के साथ, तो ये कोशिश करते हैं कि अवेयरनेस की लेवल बहुत हद तक पहुँचे ताकि जब आदमी अवेयर हो तो वो उस पर एक्शन भी ले सकता है. बट आज ज़माना है जेन जी का, तो जो आपकी जनरेशन है वो जेन जी है, हमारी जनरेशन जेन वाई और भी आगे जेन वाई हमें युवाओं तक पहुँचना, बिकॉज युवा जो है वो और ज़्यादा एक्टिव है, पॉजिटिव है, वो समझते हैं कि उनका इम्पैक्ट क्या होने वाला है. जो हमने प्रॉपर्टी में भी के रूप में हम उसको हैंड ओवर वैसे का वैसा कैसे कर सकते हैं हमारे आने वाली जनरेशन. थैंक यू सो मच.
First, when it comes to solar panels, we had a solar mission which started in 2009. Recently, we had this, EV policy. Now we have FAN 1, FAN 2, FAN 3, and all those things which are going. But as an entrepreneur and as an advocate, we always try to make sure that the communication take place in the right manner. But responsibility doesn't lie only at the level of committee of parties, right?
Okay.
Last year I was at Dubai. COP28, this year we are going COP29 Azerbaijan. Things are happening, roundtables are happening, people are discussing, but at the same time there is a huge gap when it comes to global south and global north, right? Why should I pay for somebody, just as I mentioned, if somebody is burning, say, producing carbon dioxide at North Pole is equals to somebody doing here, right? So the repercussions are humongous. So it should be a collaborative effect when it comes to the policy framework.
Okay.
Just in India, because we have development issues. We have to feed 1.5 billion people. We have to also take care of our coming generations. So we have to grow. Obviously, the green is the right medium, but at the same time, at the cost of what? At the cost of hunger? No. At the cost of comfort? No. At the cost of, that's no. But at the same time, we are equally responsible, but the responsibility lies with the other set of countries including the big three, right?
You know, भुवनेश्वर COP28 हुआ था last year, और उसमें अलग-अलग countries से world leaders पहुंचे थे, and all of them used airplanes which burned enough fossil fuels, and they went there and talked about getting the fossil fuels out of the equation. There is a lot of irony. जो अभी political scenario है, not only in India but also globally, it is largely handled by adults, and it is largely the younger generation